What's up, YouTube? Have you ever noticed that there's a lot of infatuation coming from people of a lot of different ethnicities and racial groups um, regarding black men, but especially like brown skin and dark skinned black men? Mhm. Honestly, I think there's just a lot of infatuation involving black people in general, but I'll keep it to black men in this video though. But yeah, you notice like, people of different ethnicities, different groups, racial groups, you know, are low key kind of like infatuated with, you know, black men, especially brown skinned, dark skinned black men. And, you know, you can kind of see it when it comes to like rap music, athletics, style. Some people call it swag, right? Like sex, right? There's even like genres of adult films that feature men, primarily white men, allowing black men to have sex with their wives or girlfriends, you know, while they record it. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. But that's another story for another day. But yeah, notice that there's like low key a lot of infatuation, right? But you notice that this infatuation hardly ever turns into concern for the plight of black men, especially brown skinned, dark skinned black men in America. Notice that, all this infatuation, and all this, interest, just doesn't translate to concern, though. You know, why is that? Like these people, don't seem to be really that concerned when issues affecting black men come up, like police brutality, for instance, right? I think the viewers of, particularly the white viewers of the NFL and the NFL Association, has shown where their concerns lie. Their concerns do not lie with the black players in the NFL, right? Their concerns lies with the money for the NFL and for the white viewers, pretty much just, you know, wanting to not deal with that aspect of black men, right? Don't want to deal with the baggage that black men come with in America, especially in America, but also just in general, right? Don't want to deal with that aspect of it. They just want to see the athleticism, you know, you know. And some black men could be fooled by this, right? Fooled by all of this infatuation, thinking, you in there like like swimwear, right? But no, not quite. You ain't really in there like swimwear like you think. I think it tends to be more about, being able to make money, of course, and also like a low key, almost like a low key fetish, right? Like, because I'll say this, historically speaking, I think black people in general have been extremely fetishized and, sexually exploited, as well as exploited in other ways as well. But I think historically speaking, black women were probably the most fetishized or the most sexually exploited and sexually abused, etc., things like that. at this point now, I just think that the tables have sort of turned, and now the infatuation is more so on the black men, especially the dark skinned, brown skinned black men. And at this particular point in time, it's a little more dangerous because we're kind of like in the era of the illusion of inclusion. So some of these black men, who may not be, woke, may even be a little weak-minded, may not be able to pick up on what's really at play here. You and sometimes like, why, some of these or a lot of these non-black women, tend to gravitate toward them. You know? And honestly, it's not just the brown-skinned, dark-skinned men that are getting got by the non-black women. We all heard about Lonzo Ball and Blake Griffin, right? Heck, I heard Drake got caught up in with like a white porn star and has like a kid on the way or something, you know. You know. But as a collective, people have shown, other groups of people have shown that they're really indifferent to the plight of black men and black people in general, really, but black men, specifically. Um, and many times, even on the individual level, like some black men are kind of like with non-black spouses, or significant others, or girlfriends, or whatever, and sometimes it's kind of like an indifference there, you know. And of course, that's on a case-by-case basis, but I'm just saying, like, I don't see it playing out when it comes down to it. I don't see these non-black spouses or girlfriends making a big fuss when these black men, are being targeted and, experiencing police brutality and discrimination of some kind and oppression, And also sometimes some people, black men and non-black women and, just other non-black folks in general kind of feel like they don't need to be concerned with black issues because they're just dating this particular black person or they're just with this particular black person. They're not dating the whole group or the whole ethnicity. And which, on some level, I can see where you're coming from, but you should be concerned with the well-being of the black men that you're with, though, right? You should be concerned with that. You know? And oftentimes, I think that's something that, black men, who swirl or whatever you want to call it, tend to not take into account and tend to miss out on when, they go outside the community. Because, if they were with like, a black woman, it would be automatic, right? It would be no discussion. Like, they are concerned about black issues more or less the same as their black male partner. And I've also heard some people, particularly one person did say a comment to the effect of like, we're not asking white and non-black women to fight for us and to fight our battles for us. As a response to this black woman posing a question to these black male swirlers, which was something along the lines of, what have these women done for you? What have these white women done for you? They can come together and make so many different organizations like Mothers Against Drunk Driving, feminist groups, Daughters of the American Revolution, etc. They can make all these different groups. But when it comes down to you, since they supposedly love you so much, where is their advocacy? Right? And, that's a good, that's something to think about. To be real, that's something to think about. And I think, that needs to be taken into account. Before you decide to go outside the community. And to be fair, there are some black people who feel like they do have non-black partners who do hold them down. Who are um, down to ride for them and down to thug it out with them and go hard in the paint for them. You know, you know. Um, but to sum it up, though, I think we can sometimes confuse infatuation and fetishization with love and concern. And we think that those things automatically, some of us, may think that those things automatically translate to love and concern as well. But oftentimes it's not. Or oftentimes it doesn't translate like that. You know? And don't get me wrong, the people that you're with, they should love, you know, your skin tone, your athleticism, your creativity, your style, swag, you know, sex. They should, you know. But I think what draws the line between infatuation and fetishization versus love and concern is like, is that all they're in it for? Is that all there is to it? And I think when it comes to what people express concern and love about, you know, you know, if you aren't on the list, then I think it would just end up being infatuation and fetishization. And I know for men, this is a little different than for women. I think women tend to be, black women tend to be very cautious and very cognizant of this type of thing because the dynamics between men and women are different, right? Like a man can definitely, objectify and fetishize a woman, you know, very, because of the way that, society is set up. That's true. Usually when we hear about people complaining about sexual objectification, it's usually women complaining about men objectifying them. It's usually not men complaining about women objectifying them. The men tend, to welcome it usually, right? Again, because the dynamics are different, right? The power dynamics are different. So I think that may contribute to it kind of going over men's heads at times, you know. But nevertheless, it's still something to be concerned about, though, right? Especially if you plan on having like a family with this particular person, right? And you guys aren't on the same page, that's that could be a big deal. That could really cause some division and some strife within your family. But oddly enough, I didn't really even mean to get on the topic of swirling. I kind of just meant to keep it on the topic of infatuation and fetishization. But I guess it all sort of just circles back around, doesn't it? But I'm going to bring this video to a close. Thanks for watching. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now. And as well, leave your comments. I'm really interested in what you guys think.